Well, we're already in this Saturday Bible study. And we do get out of 6 and get into 7. And the king commanded and brought those men which had accused Daniel and cast them into the den of lions. So the ones that had Daniel thrown into the den of lions, now they're in the den of lions. Them, their children, their wives, and the lions had the mastery of them. Ow. And break all their bones in pieces wherever they came at the bottom of the den. So, again, crossing the Lord's people, vengeance is the Lord's. We know in this time that we're in now, more in this new covenant, we do just die for the Lord. We don't get saved out of those situations. I mean, there's some situations you never know. I mean, heck, I'm still alive doing what I'm doing. I'm surprised they haven't came and falsely accused me or arrested me or done something to me. So I suppose there's something, But there will come a time when I'm going to die, and all the apostles died, and it wasn't a good death. And most all of the people during the Protestant Reformation were killed by the Catholic Church. So you can't just expect these type of miracles in your daily life in today's times, is what I'm trying to say. Don't sit there and go, well, I know, uh, the four horsemen of the apocalypse are taking place, but I know God's going to deliver me. No, no, don't say I know nothing. You are going to live the will of God for you, and any suffering and death that comes upon you, that's the Lord purging the world out of you and molding you into his image before you die, because you can't die never having suffered for your truth. Like we were showing earlier, all sheep must go through much tribulation to enter the kingdom. And that's tribulation for the Lord's sake, being salt, being light. It doesn't just mean having a mean boss or, Al Qaeda or Muslims or Dems, socialist, liberal. Nah, no. This is real suffering for the Lord and his truth. Like telling people God doesn't love everybody, you don't celebrate Christmas, those type of things. And even you that do, don't expect to be delivered like Daniel was in the Old Testament times. Okay. I make a decree that in every, well, hang on a second. Then King Darius wrote unto the people, the nations, the languages that dwell in all the earth. This was a world ruling system. Peace be multiplied unto you, he said. I make a decree that in every dominion, my kingdom, men tremble and fear before the God of Daniel. For he is the living God and steadfast forever, in his kingdom that which shall not be destroyed, and his dominion shall be even unto the end. So that is why we had pointed out earlier, Darius, never gets old, does it? Saved, saved, fallen, 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 fallen. There are 7 kings, 5 are fallen. Yes, unsaved. He delivereth and rescueth and worketh signs and wonders in heaven and in the earth. And who hath delivered Daniel from the power of the lions? So Daniel prospered in the reign of Darius and in the reign of Cyrus the Persian. So it was the Medes and the Persians. And what he is saying, that's not a question the way I read it. I saw the word who, and I made it sound like a question, but he is saying that God who delivered Daniel from the power of the lions. We get into 7, a few verses, and that's it. In the first year of Belshazzar, the king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream. So now we're back to Belshazzar again. Daniel had a dream, and the visions were upon his head in his bed, and he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, the four winds of the heaven strove upon the great sea. All right, we'll get more into that tomorrow. And let's continue in Luke. And when we get into Luke 21, that's like Matthew 24. And we actually start that today. That's some of your end times prophecy. Then certain of the scribes answering said, Master, thou hast well said. And after that, they durst not ask him any more questions at all. And he said unto them, how say they that Christ is David's son? And David himself saith in the book of Psalms, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou on my right hand, till I make thine enemies thy footstool. David therefore calleth him Lord. How is he then his son? Then in audience all the people said unto his disciples, beware of the scribes, which desire to walk in long robes and love greetings in the markets and the highest seats in the synagogues and the chief rooms at feast, which devour widows' houses, and for a show make long prayers, the same shall receive greater damnation. And he looked up and saw the rich men casting their gifts into the treasury. And he saw also certain poor widow casting in thither 2 mites. And he said of the truth, I say unto you that this poor widow have cast in more than they all. For they all have left their abundance, cast in the offerings of God. But she of her penury have cast in all the living that she had. So we'll get deeper into 21 tomorrow. All right, love you very much.